Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It podcast. We have Hannah Norman today, Realtor with Real Broker. It is a great show. She talks about how the real estate market is changing. She talks about how it's changing for realtors and how they reach people. She is a Columbia influencer who cheered for the University of South Carolina and is newly single. So thanks for listening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It. I'm Dr. Randy here with Dr. Tom. As always, thanks for listening. And for those of you that are sharing our stuff on Instagram, we appreciate that. If you haven't followed our show yet, I've been told you should be following it on Spotify and reviewing on Apple iTunes if you're willing to. We have a great show today. We are Columbia's hottest podcast, and we have Hannah Norman, Realtor with Real Broker. Who, big news, am I allowed to announce the news that you
Go ahead and announce it.
You are in
It's not
in
even
your
on Instagram
own
yet, and
brand
you're going
new
to drop
space.
it, yes.
So you moved realtor companies,
Yes.
essentially.
I
and
left
now
my
you're
team.
now you're with Real Broker.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And you're a big name on social media. We were talking about what we were going to call you. Do you want to be called an influencer?
A micro
influencer in Columbia. And you're at Hannah Norman, just a ton of N's and H's and HANNAHNORMANN, right?
Yes.
Instagram, is that where people should find you?
Instagram, TikTok, same thing.
Everywhere.
YouTube, everywhere. Hannah Norman, 2 N's.
Awesome. All right. So
Venmo.
Well, welcome to the show. So tell everyone how you got into the real estate game.
So I have been in real estate since 2020. I graduated college in 2020 during COVID. And if you knew me in college, I never really knew what I wanted to do. Like, I feel like some people go to college and they want to be a doctor, they want to be a teacher. And I was a junior and I was out of core classes to take. And my person sat me down and they're like, hey, if you want to graduate on time, like, you have to pick a major. And I was like, okay, what can I do to graduate on time? And they said, well, you could do marketing or you could do public relations. So I majored in public relations with a minor in marketing, and I interned at a real estate law firm during college. And the attorney during COVID actually offered me a full-time job and said, hey, when you graduate, here's your job, but you're going to hate it. You're never going to want to sit behind a desk, but I'm offering you the job because I want you to be here. And he was like, have you ever thought about real estate? And at that point, not really. And it was during COVID and everything was shut down. And I was like, you know what? Might as well. So I got my real estate license in 2 weeks because it's really easy to get. Mm-hmm. And I started right after that.
Really? So did you get your 4-year degree?
I did. I did get my 4-year degree. I graduated from USC. Yes.
So that was one of my questions about the realtor world. Is it's so easy to get a license that it seems like a lot of people get it, but they generally don't really do anything with it.
It's actually terrifying how easy it is to get a real estate license.
What do you have to do?
It is a 2-week class, and then you take a state test and a national test. And once you pass, you can go help someone buy the most expensive thing they'll ever buy in their life. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they involve lawyers, though, too, right?
Yes.
That's what's nice. This is really not, you just got to show them the house and kind of know some of the lingo and then make sure the lawyer does things right? Kind of.
A monkey could be a realtor, but actually, like, selling real estate
Right.
is harder.
Yes. That's where, like, your marketing skills comes into play. It's
Yes.
sales.
Exactly.
Nice. Do you use anything you learned in school currently as a realtor?
Marketing, I guess. I know how to use DocuSign, which I guess
Nice.
USC taught me that. But I recommend everyone goes to college just because you need the experience.
Right.
It's an expensive 4 years, but worth it.
But you were a cheerleader, so you probably got a lot of it paid for in college, right?
I was, but actually you don't get scholarships really for cheerleading.
What?
Now it
No
probably is
kidding.
different with the NIL and all that crazy stuff. But when I was here, we were more so just like a spirit person. We were an athlete technically, but we are not under the realm that they're in now.
Wow.
So they gave you no scholarship.
It was, okay, so if you were out of state, you got in-state tuition, but I'm from here, so I think it
that
was...
didn't help you much.
Yeah, so it didn't really help there, but you do get, like, everything's free. So all your travel, all of your, like, clothes and uniforms, everything's free. But if you're in-state, then you get $500 a semester. So
Really?
it's not much for all the time.
I always thought, did you think that? I always thought they were getting full rides.
No, not full rides, but I thought they'd get something. You get free food?
You do not. Not when I was
You get
here.
free food?
No.
Okay, I thought you got free food.
You get the
wild.
memories of cheering in Williams-Brice.
Do you now know? Do you go back and talk to any like current cheerleaders?
I do.
Did they? How is NIL for them? Like, are they getting money?
I honestly don't know. I need to ask that question.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the numbers we're hearing, like we have a friend of ours' son who plays D1 baseball and just getting tons of money. Flown like he hit, and like the coach will sit him down and say at the end of the year, like, "Hey, how are things?" And he's like, "Well, not very good actually." And then he comes up with like a list of stuff like, well, I'd love to be able to go to my son's games out of state. Next thing you know, he has flights now for the next year, like things like that. So yeah, I'd be curious if the cheerleaders are scooping up on that. I would think there'd be people that want to pay him.
I would think so. I don't know. I know when we were in college, brands would just work with us in general
Just for
before it became like a documented thing.
like merch and stuff, like promote that
Like
stuff.
putting on deodorant for $500. And I'm like the first
on
person.
video?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, give me the $500. I will rub this deodorant on my arms.
Did you do some deodorants?
Oh,
That's
deodorant.
amazing.
I ate some yogurt one time. I will do whatever.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Columbia Family Chiropractic, with 3 easy-to-get-to locations, one in Forest Acres, which is by Trader Joe's, one in O'Neill Court by the DMV, and one in the Northeast by Sand Hills. You'll be sure to have somewhere near you. They offer a ton of services from corrective care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling for injuries, pediatric care, and a Class 4 laser. They accept all your major insurances. And if you mention this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. Check out their website at cfc4health.com or Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's cfc4health.com.
I think
That's
that's why
great.
Columbia people love me because I'm like, I will
love
post
you
a
just-
reel. Let me just have some drinks and
Yeah.
some food. I'll come to your restaurant.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now what did year 1 look like as a realtor? So you graduate 2020. We're still in COVID. You got your license. Like, what was the first year? What was the grind like?
So I got really fortunate I started working with one of the top realtors in Columbia when I started. So at the time I was like an assistant to him, and I was with him for 4.5 years, and we had a team. So when I first started, I was kind of his assistant, helping him with his buyers. Because when I first started, I mean, I was 21 years old. Who's going to trust me to help them buy a house? And I had no experience. But time after time, I like learned from him, picked up clients on my own, and then eventually my friends started buying houses. And that's kind of how my business grew from there.
Great. And then what advice do you have for like a new agent? Would it be to find like you does it sound like, did you seek out this person to work with, or was that kind of lucky? What was your thought process?
It kind of fell in my lap because I worked at Blair Cato, which is a real estate law firm in Columbia, and the attorney, Gary Pickering, actually introduced me to my team lead.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that kind of helped me. But if you're a new agent, I definitely think don't let people think, don't be a secret agent. I feel like a lot of people are realtors, but they don't like post it out there, or they don't promote it the way that I do. I want everyone to know I'm a realtor all the time.
Yeah.
Right. It used to be that you would put your face on a bus stop
Yes.
as a realtor, and now it's all social media based.
all
almost.
social media, pretty much.
Which I don't know why more people don't do it. Like you seem like you've just taken that space. Do you have mentors in that area, or somebody showing you what to do?
What's interesting is real estate is basically marketing. We're just marketing like houses. So for me, like I am a marketing person, and I just specialize in selling real estate. So it's the same thing I would do if I'm selling clothes or selling something else, but I just sell houses that way. And I like to like just kind of look up inspo of other people and just rip it off and recreate it basically.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem like an open book. You're not afraid to just
Oh, no.
post stuff, do whatever you need to do to get attention. And I'm sure you get all kinds of clients and people messaging you. What does that look like? New clients, or past clients, or potential clients, or other realtors?
It's very interesting. Like when I first started, I don't think I ever did like a call to action to have people actually reach out to me. Like I was just posting the house, and then I started posting, if you want more info, like reach out to me. And that's when I actually started picking up clients. I actually picked up an investor this weekend, and it was like, oh, I saw your video of you running on the field at South Carolina, like a stupid video after like the Texas A&M win. And he's like, oh, and I clicked on your profile and it looked really fun. And then I saw you're a realtor. And then he's like, and then I started stalking you and
Right.
saw that you have like all these houses and investment opportunities. And now he's going to be one of my clients.
Sweet.
So you never really know who's looking to buy a house, but everyone talks about real estate
Right.
all the time.
For sure. And there's, if you're looking at a realtor and deciding who you're going to use, say you're just someone who's never bought a house before, what are the things that they should be thinking of?
If I was a home buyer, I would want to work with someone that is very similar to me because you're going to spend a lot of time with this person. And depending on what you're looking for, I mean, I've worked with people for over a year and shown them 25 houses, spent like hours with them. Or it's like a 2-week, you find the perfect house and it's
Right.
45 days.
Yeah.
You never really know.
Yeah.
But someone that you can definitely hang out with and trust enough to make a decision like that.
Have a cocktail, maybe
Yes.
a lunch or a coffee.
That's what and I think referrals and testimonials are good too, because I know that there's some that just don't follow up ever, right? They'll sign you, quote unquote, sign you up or whatever, and then they just don't do any work until you do it, or they don't follow up, or they have bad reviews, but nobody knows about them.
There are a lot of bad realtors out there. I can say
That's
that
what
because
I'm
I'm a
getting at.
realtor. I'm like,
I-
can you just pick up your phone? But I think in Columbia we have like 4,800 agents, maybe more, and there's probably about 200 that actually sell a house a year, which is like crazy. So a lot of people have
That
their
is
license out there
crazy
and like don't
numbers.
do anything with it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So phone number wise, is yours just your personal cell, direct access to you all the time?
Yes, all the time.
Really? So it's
I
out
can't
there.
keep up with 2 phones. I can't.
Yeah. So I mean, dating life, you're given the same number.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, do you get a lot of weird stuff sent to you or no?
I think the weirdest story ever, and this was actually when my team lead was out of the country. And so I was getting random phone calls all the time from his clients too. So like I would always pick up my phone. The weirdest was a FaceTime, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to answer it. And it was this man in underwear.
No.
And he was like, Captain Underpants. That's literally what he just did. And I was just like, oh my God, I thought this was a client. I just like hung up. So that's like the weirdest thing, but normally it's pretty normal.
What do you do with that? Like, how long did you stay on that line for?
I wanted everyone to see it. So like my friends were in the car and I was like, y'all, please look at this. Like, what do I do? And then I hung up. But
That's incredible.
yeah, my phone number that's on Instagram is the one you can reach me. That's
Wow.
it.
Okay. Good to know. I mean, just in case somebody's out there looking.
In case, yeah, anyone listening,
Send a Captain Underpants video.
yes, I will answer a FaceTime.
And then now, do you get calls like late, texts late, like things for houses and things of that nature?
Yes, that's why it's really hard if you are like dating a realtor or friends with a realtor because it like never stops.
Right.
And you got to think like we're in South Carolina, but people in California are in a completely different time zone.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are moving from California. So they want to talk when it's 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I talk to them at 9 to 10 o'clock at night.
Wow. Now, what's your method of keeping things organized? So somebody has a question about a property you have, like, how do you quickly pull it up, get the information?
I have my computer with me all the time, but I am like a Google Sheets girl. Like a lot of people have like a CRM or all these like fancy
Yeah.
tools, and I'm just like Google Sheets. It's where I live
Yep.
and document everything in there.
Nice. And then how does one land a listing just in general? Like, when do you know that it's available? How do you know who to contact? Like, how do you get the listing?
Like how to pick it up.
Yeah, just in general. I like don't have a clue on that.
So a lot of people would just call like Caldwell Banker, and they just get a random person if they don't know, or the agent that sold them the house. I send a lot of mailers out, a lot of letters and stuff to market to houses that I don't like my neighborhood. I send out like a ton of marketing there, or just like social media and being present on Google and all those things.
And so, like, but is there a way that are you mostly looking for houses to sell, right?
I would prefer to have a bunch of listings, but I love buyers. So I'm like 50-50.
You're more than 50. Okay. Because I could see how if like somebody's going to sell their house, they could come to you. Or maybe if you're going to buy a house and you don't know any realtors at all, normally doesn't the like Zillow just send you to some random?
Yes. So a lot of people pay money to, it's like if you're on Zillow and
get
you see a
on.
house and you like click it, it's like a lead. But my business is like 100% organic, so I don't pay for any leads. Because personally, like I want to work with people that want to work with me and they like find me organically. I don't really want to pay money to have
Right.
someone call my phone.
Sure. And like, what are good stats? Like, what are you tracking in the realtor game? Are you tracking like I got this many listings this week, I got this many leads, calls? I don't know what the stats would be.
So some people track like they are cold calling and they do all those things. That is not me. I personally like to if I based on last year, like our team sold like 301 homes last year. So that's a lot. But this year, like if I can sell, I'll probably be close to 10 million in real estate this year.
Nice.
So like 35 houses about.
So it's based on houses or it's based on dollar amount, or you do both?
You kinda
It
do
sounds
both.
like, yeah. Okay.
But in Colombia, it's crazy. Like if you're talking to someone from California, like $10 million is like, oh, you sold like one or two
Yes.
houses.
Right.
And here it's like, oh no, like you sold like 35 or
houses.
40.
That makes
so
sense.
it's crazy. You have to sell a lot to make money here in Colombia because the price point's
For
so low.
sure.
Is there anything you like selling in particular? Duplexes, land, single family, apartments.
I sell it all.
Doesn't
I
matter.
sold a trailer last week. Like I sell it all.
No matter what.
Yeah, I sell it all.
Do you see yourself?
But for commercial, I don't do commercial.
You don't do commercial. Do you ever see yourself niching out to something like this is like luxury houses or something like that?
That would be ideal, but I feel like in Colombia, there's just not enough of it.
Right.
Like in Lake Murray, we just kind of hit you have a house on the lake, your house is probably close to $1 million. Like we
Right.
just hit that.
Right.
Like in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. Even in Wood Creek, I think they were talking about trying to make $1 million homes, and then they were like, all right, we can't make that many $1 million homes because there's nobody to buy them right now.
There's just not like luxury in Colombia really. Like you either lakefront, maybe downtown Colombia, but it's very affordable compared to other areas, which is why I think we're kind of in a safe bubble being in Colombia. We're always going to have people coming here.
People are moving here fast, though.
So many.
I keep seeing all these things about how South Carolina is the most moved to state in the country.
I think we get really lucky because people are like, oh, I want to go to South Carolina, and they Google where to move, and they look in Charleston or they look in Greenville, and they either can't afford it or they can't find what they want, and they always end up in Columbia.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Columbia. I'm like, I'm never leaving. I'll be here forever.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. So you grew up here,
I grew up in Lexington.
Lexington. What high school did you go to?
I went to Lexington.
Lexington High School. How was that experience?
It was good. It was fun.
Cheerleading.
I
any other
actually,
sport?
funny, so I did not actually cheer until I never cheered in high school. I actually like tried out and didn't make my cheer team in high school.
Like a Michael Jordan story here.
This is it. I like really wanted to make varsity, and they're like, oh, nope, you can be the star of JV. And I was like, at that point, I ran cross country and track and all the
Right.
things, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then I tried out for South Carolina and made it.
That's wild.
Wow.
So just like walk on, try out.
Well, you like had to do some tumbling and stuff. Yeah, it's not like you just like smiled. But yes,
Did you like? Do you have to know? Like, were you a dancer?
I did dance. So I danced all growing up.
Okay.
And then I kind of just got over it, and I started tumbling in my backyard and decided I was like, oh, I think I want to cheer.
Right.
And then switched to cheerleading. But I did cross country and track, and that's what I actually did for Lexington.
You still on like a Reggie of running?
I am. I actually ran my first half marathon in April.
Nice.
Really?
That was fun.
Do you want to
I-
announce your time?
Yeah, sure.
What? Oh boy, I hope it's not
I think
faster than mine.
No, it was 2:09,
Okay, that's a good time.
but it was through Columbia with all the hills. So if I was flat, I probably would have been under
Like
2.
1:30.
Yeah, probably.
What's a day in the life look like look like for you in the realtor world?
I'm kind of all over the place. So today, I normally wake up, I work out at Chosen Uno. It's like a personal training gym. I work out at 6 in the morning with him, and then
Every morning, pretty much, Monday to Friday.
3 times a week.
Wow,
And I'll try to run.
6 a.m.
I have to. If I come home after work and I see my dog, like I'm not leaving again. I just can't. So I have to wake up and do it in the morning. I'm kind of all over the place. Like this morning I was in Lexington, then I went to Chapin. Now I'm here, Northeast, showing houses in Northeast, and then going back to Lexington.
Yeah.
So
Just tons of miles on the car.
lots of miles on the car.
Yeah. Yep.
And I drive a Bronco, so not the best gas
Oh.
mileage, but it is fun. So
Do you put guests in your Bronco? Like if you're showing, or do you have them follow you?
it depends. I always ask.
You just judge
I
that
always
you-
ask
yeah.
if they're traveling and they want to be picked up from the airport, they can ride in my car.
Oh,
But I
nice.
would prefer not to have them in my car.
Right.
Just because like I'm a single
never
girl.
know.
Like
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
You never really know who's getting in your car.
Are you trained in weaponry or any sort of like jujitsu, maybe carry a weapon,
Nunchucks.
nunchucks.
I have a
stars.
CWP.
Okay,
I do
good.
have a weapon,
Good.
but it's in
You
my
gotta protect
glove
yourself.
box, and I don't like take it out.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you're deciding what to wear, we were talking earlier. Your mom owns a boutique
Yes.
in Lexington.
Oh,
what was it
sweet.
called?
It's called Kindred Boutique.
Kindred Boutique. Yeah, and you seem like you dress up quite a bit for all your listings and showings and appointments. And I always feel like the next generation is more casual than the generation before. Like the older group of chiropractors that we looked up to, they would always wear suit and tie, always like dressed up to the nines no matter what. Then it moved to, well, maybe like a collared shirt is okay. And then maybe no jeans, but a half zip. But now I feel like coming up, they want to wear just like shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops. But you're kind of the opposite direction, I think, where you're always dressed up.
I'm always dressed up, but I'm always on video. I take so many videos all the time that I like want to be dressed up for them.
Yeah.
And jeans on video they don't look good. So I have to wear a dress.
Do you find that other realtors look kind of sloppy? Like you go meet with them and you're like, oh, you look just...
I think with real estate, everyone kind of does what they want to do. Like a lot of realtors wear hats if that's their thing, or Hawaiian shirts if that's their thing. Personally, like I want to dress up, so
You're
that's
not
my
into
thing.
Hawaiian shirts?
No Hawaiian shirts in my closet.
Would you trust a guy with a Hawaiian shirt on?
Tucked in, maybe.
At like a tiki bar, maybe. Like it was
If
like
it's
a
the right
theme. Like
setting.
it's like a theme.
Like in
yes.
Hawaii.
Like Christmas time, Hawaiian shirt, probably not.
That's what I always think. Like if I go to the bank and the person's not well dressed, their hair looks messy, their makeup's not good, their nails look bad, then I'm like, oh man, they're gonna screw up all my stuff. I have to go somewhere where they care
Yeah.
about details.
Details are important. I think that's the key. Who's shooting all these videos? Like, are you?
Oh, good question.
Are you the
I didn't even
person
think about
that's
that.
setting the camera and doing the?
So if it is like a professional video on my Instagram that I'm obviously not holding the camera,
Yeah.
someone does it for me. His name's Jason. He's fantastic. If it's like I'm holding the camera, I just got that new, I don't even know how, DJI creator
Oh,
flip
yeah, I saw
thing.
that.
I don't even know what it's called, but it is very high tech. And I just got it and I love it.
Sweet.
So
When did you get good at being on camera? Like, when did you know that you're like, I'm comfortable on camera and willing to do it all the time?
it's really hard. Someone told me that you look the way you look and you sound the way you sound. And I tell myself every day, I'm like, if Alex Earl just started posting videos and now she's dating an NFL player and has 3 million followers and is a billionaire,
Right.
like I can post a video.
Nice.
So
Who's Alex Earl?
you don't know who Alex Earl is?
Is she from Call Her Daddy, right?
No. Alex
that?
Earl is.
No, that's Alex Cooper.
Oh, Alex Cooper. That's what I was
Alex
thinking.
Earl just like popped off randomly in like the last probably 2 years, and she's like a huge influencer now.
Is she Pookie? Who's
No,
that
she's
one?
not Pookie, but she's like that.
Oh.
Just like a random person that just
Videotapes herself.
yeah. And
I don't know what Pookie
I don't
is
know.
either.
My wife shows me all kinds of things.
Do you know what Pookie is?
I do know what Pookie
Is
is.
it like
It's like
a dance?
Pookie and Jet or Jet.
Yes,
or
there you
something.
go.
Yeah. Did it make no sense? The guy just buys her nice stuff all the time, calls her Pookie, like overwhelms her with love.
Oh.
And so my wife shows me it all the time. I'm like, see, like this is what you should be doing. I'm like, this is not
all
real.
fake.
There's
That's
no
true.
way.
It's amazing how we were talking about this with Sarah Middleton. Do you know Sarah Middleton Styles? She owns Smoked and
Oh,
Peak
yes.
Drift, and we were talking about I call it the logarithm, but it's
not a
actually the
logarithm.
algorithm.
Yeah. Logarithm is math.
Yeah. But how it moves to exactly what you want or what you're interested in. So they were talking about somebody who's like, oh yeah, all there is just shirtless guys on Instagram. That's all it is all day is shirtless guys. Why are people going on it? And they're like, it's your logarithm, not
Your algorithm.
your algorithm. So, but I think that if somebody's looking for a house though, to that point, if somebody's looking for a house, you're going to start showing up. They look for it once because of the way that you position yourself. You're going to start being in their explore videos or sponsored ads or whatever that.
I hope
Or
so.
are you? Do you do sponsored ads?
I do not do sponsored
Oh,
ads.
so you're just in their explore. They just find you in their explore
Yeah.
page.
Just organic. Nice. How did you grow your following? Like, how'd you get up to 14,000 from?
That's a good question too. And how did I beat you in the influencer game for the free times? We got to talk about that after too.
I don't know. Is that rigged?
You, that's what I.
100%.
That's what. Well, I don't know. I think that people spoke. I know I got a lot of votes. but I don't have the number of
I didn't
followers.
even get a nomination.
Exactly.
You didn't? Oh yeah, I'll show you. I'm the third hottest influencer in Colombia. Social media
Congratulations.
influencer. I know.
I'm so
thanks.
excited to be sitting here today.
Thank you. I'll give you some tips.
Yeah, let me know. So in college, I mean,
Just shaving your armpits and putting
being
that
being a college cheerleader in the SEC just helps. I'll say that. So like a lot of,
Oh.
but what's crazy is in college, if you like looked at a lot of brands in college did not want to work with me because I did not have their target market because I was like 80% guys and 20% women.
right.
So
Right.
it was like not good. But now I'm like pretty much 50-50 split down the center, which is what the ideal market is.
Gotcha.
But being a college cheerleader definitely helped. And then a lot of my friends are influencers that have like way more followers than me. So that also helps.
And just hop on videos with them and yeah, nice.
Do you have any big names that you want to shout out that helped you out early on?
So one of my really good friends, they all moved to Charleston, but in college it was, I mean, like, I don't know if you know Anna Hyde and Sydney Tilton, Kenzie Johnson, like all of them have over like 100,000 followers, 400,000 on TikTok, like crazy. But being in video with them, like their full-time job is influencing.
That's what they do. I was wondering that. So yeah, when did they know like that was the shift that they were gonna just continue in that? Like
I think
certain number?
post-COVID is
Okay.
kind of when a bunch of the influencers actually quit their job and just started influencing. And a lot of brands realized like you don't have to pay Kim Kardashian $5 million for this. Like pay a bunch of
Right.
like smaller influencers.
Do you know what they're getting? Like, have you ever asked them like, hey, how much are you getting a month?
Like stupid.
Is it stupid?
stupid.
Like 5 figures, 6 figures?
So I'm not going to say which video, but I have 2 videos on my Instagram that I made over $8,000 posting.
Oh, you've gotten some of that too.
Wow.
No kidding.
And it comes directly from Instagram if you get enough views, right?
Which is like crazy.
Right.
That is.
Well, and it makes sense. Like if you,
And I have like no followers. Like imagine if I like someone that has a lot.
yeah. Why? That's I think the challenge is like, why wouldn't all girls be doing this in college? Right. And then you got OnlyFans that are, I mean, it's a whole other world out there.
It's a lot of work though. It's stressful to be
Is it like
in
well,
the
with your
limelight.
friends?
It's
Like
a
that's
lot.
what I wonder. Are they constantly doing stuff, or are they like chilling and then throw the camera on?
It depends. Like a lot of if you're making a vlog, the camera's like always rolling, which is
Then
a lot
they
of
have to
editing.
yeah.
And then, but lately, like the stuff I've been doing in Colombia, like a couple weeks ago, I went and was with my friends and we're just getting drinks, trying to make a video there. And I got home and I was like, we had way too much fun at dinner. Like, I got to go back. Like, none of this content is good. I was like, I can't post this for this company. We have to go back. But for me, I just really want some drinks and some food.
Yeah.
Like, just hang out.
Sure. Nice.
My bar of entry's low.
That's cool. Well, and if you post something and people know you, then they'll probably trust what you're saying about whatever place you're going to.
And I will say one thing about me is like, if I don't like something, I'm going to not post it.
Yeah. Have you
I
ever done
love
any
that.
negative hit pieces?
I've not done any negatives.
Really?
I've just never posted it.
Yeah. You just
So I buy a lot of stuff based on podcasts that I listen to, who they're advertising or who they're working with. So I would imagine similar with you. If you say somewhere's great, people are going to go to it. If you say it's terrible, they're going to be like, I trust her.
100%. And I don't want them to like, oh, I bought this and it sucks.
Exactly.
Like, why'd you
it comes
recommend it?
back
And I'm
on
like,
you.
well, I got $200 to say that.
Yeah.
So no, if I don't support it, I don't say anything about it.
nice. And then what kind of merch are you making? I feel like I saw your face on some like koozies or where are you putting your face?
Everywhere that I can put it.
T-shirts.
So I like to make merchandise is one of those things that it can be really cheesy.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
love that.
everyone has it. So like I like to do things that make people smile. So I have like dog bags that say like my realtor's a shit on them. And it says like my name on the back and it's like
Yeah.
a dog bag. Or I have those koozies with my face all over them.
Yep.
And it says, if I get too tipsy, like call my realtor, she knows where I live. And then it has my info on it.
Yeah, that's good.
And I just made hats like that say, I'd rather be at home and it's just Columbia. Because no one wants to wear a hat with my Hannah Norman Real
know,
Estate logo
I
on
know.
it. So it's like trying to find something that's like cute and
Then people
people
would
want
be-
to actually use.
Right. Yeah.
I want to order some matches that say like my real estate agent's fire. But I haven't done that yet. I want to.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just like cheesy but fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right up my alley. I love putting my face on anything with some quotes. Now, do you feel like, are you starting to build a new team? Is that the plan? Do you have anybody in place? Are you looking for team members?
So what's really interesting about this company is I'm one of like the first, there are a couple agents in Columbia, but I'm one of like the first agents in Columbia, and I would love to attract more agents that want to join Real. But right now, I've been with the team for 4.5 years, and I'm like, it's just so nice to do something for me, like the way that I want to do it.
So they just let you kind of roll. Sweet.
So right now, I don't know about a team. Right now, it's just me.
How do you come up with your marketing strategies for like each location? Or do you, because I've seen some of your stuff, it's different. Like one, you were a cowboy. Another one, I saw fireworks. How do you, like, are you storyboarding? Like, all right, I went and saw this. Here's what I think would go well. And then the next one.
Sometimes it's like an idea I've seen with somebody else doing it, but a lot of times, like, I'll just think of random ideas in the shower is like my thinking spot.
Yeah.
Or I was just at the Carolina game and I'm like, ooh, I love that intro they just used. So like I put that in my notes.
Yeah.
I was like, use opening of this video that Carolina played as an intro video. So I'm kind of just like always thinking about real estate and marketing 24/7.
I got an idea. And
What's
I'm not
that?
sure.
Let's
I
hear
like
it.
to always share them. So has anybody done anything with like blonde jokes? Like just being blonde and
Like-
just doing like real estate blonde jokes that would just get your like attention. I feel like who doesn't love a good blonde joke?
Do you want to tell me one right now?
What up?
You have one on the tip of your tongue?
Trying to think of. All right, the one I heard recently was, why did the blonde climb to the top of the chain link fence?
Why?
To see what was on the other side. So just see something like that. That could work for real estate,
I think so.
right?
It's something to get someone's attention.
That's what I think. I think blonde jokes I feel like they're underutilized.
And real estate's like pretty stuffy. So it can be pretty stuffy. So
I like it actually. I really like
If
it.
I was blonde,
Because people would, what'll happen is if people like the joke, they'll be firing it to all their friends or their blonde friends. So all of a sudden it'll get tons of
true.
engagement.
listen, we're going to do, you just let me know when you want to do a whole series on blonde jokes.
I'll give you creds
And
in
we're
the-
filming. Yeah, we're filming. I want to get in there and make some of these jokes. This is good stuff. And I think, you know what they'll do is like, you'll get attention and then they'll be like, oh, she knows her shit. Like it'll have the opposite effect.
that is true. I think a lot of the videos that are being shared through real estate now are the crazy ones that don't have to do it with anything with the house.
Right.
Like the person's playing hide and go seek and like whispering about the house, and it's like really creepy, but like it goes viral.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that one going around where it's like when you walk in with your client to a place that has a Ring camera and they have like duct tape. They're like putting their mouth or their taping their mouth up or telling them like, be quiet. They start to say something in the house. They're like, be quiet, be quiet. There's cameras everywhere. Which I feel like would be the move, right? If you were selling your own house, you putting cameras in there so you can hear what people are saying.
A lot of people do
Recording
that, but you have
devices.
to let them know.
You do? In
So
your own
do you-
house?
So you have to, you're supposed to. Some people don't. I mean, there's like nanny cams probably everywhere.
I'm sure.
Right.
What happens if you don't? You get in
I have them
trouble?
in my house.
Oh,
Nanny
I have
cams,
them
like
all
little
over.
ones?
Oh yeah.
Inside.
Well, no, not like the hidden. Like it's like a big. They're Ring cameras that I've just set
Inside.
inside my house.
Why?
Well, just because like when we have nannies and things like that, it's like where if I'm on vacation, I want to like know what happened. Like where are people at? Because sometimes we'll tune in and be like, oh, our two kids are staring at a TV and the nanny's, on their phone or computer doing homework for college. And it's like, that's.
Do you screenshot it to them and send it to them?
Well, they just don't. Yeah, they don't make it very long. Let's put it that way. But yeah, that was where we started like having indoor cameras, and they're not hidden. They're just like there.
so they know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. Am I supposed to tell them?
I mean,
Like they shouldn't be doing. Like, here's my thought: they shouldn't be doing weird shit in my house, right?
that's true.
And if they are, then we got it on camera.
That's true.
Yeah, I do it too. I can't.
Like I don't have them like hidden in like teddy bears or anything like
Yes,
that.
that's
It's
exactly.
literally like
One in
there's
the
a
living
glowing
room.
light. Yeah.
where you can hear I'm big on what they're saying to my kids, like because they're really respectful, nice to me, and then all of a sudden, I like tune in to listen in the middle of my movie that I'm at or whatever, and they're saying like
Shut
mean
up,
stuff, yeah, or not even necessarily mean, but just like they're filling them with stuff that I don't want my kids hearing from someone, or they're letting them look at their phone, which I'm like, you don't need to look at TikTok when you're 7 years old, especially not a algorithm of whoever it is.
I was never a good babysitter.
You
No.
weren't.
No, I was not a
What
good
kind of
babysitter.
weird stuff did you do?
I didn't do any weird stuff.
I
That
feel like you're being called out right now. Everybody who's watching you on nanny
God.
cam.
I'm good for like a second. Like I will play games with them for a second.
And then your phone. Then you're
Not
just
my
looking at
phone.
phone.
I'm like, I'll do
really?
I'll do other things, but I can only play house for so long.
Right. It's a lot. This whole parenting thing is a lot.
What do you do instead? Like, let's say that you've been playing Monopoly for 2.5 hours, and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go do something else.
Can we go outside?
Oh yeah,
You guys go
trampoline.
play
Like
with
the kids
yourself.
don't go outside anymore. I don't think they like stop going
Right.
outside.
Yeah.
They just
you
want to
gotta
play with
push
their
that.
tablets.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of space for a lot of kids to go outside either.
That's true.
Like, if you live in a community with a little area, you can pretty much go into your backyard and that's it. Because I don't let my kids go by themselves very far.
There's just too many creepers.
Too many weirdos.
When you grew up,
Perverts
like
everywhere.
Yeah, when you were in Lexington, like what was it like your generation? Were you out riding your bike? Were you gone? Like how was that?
When I was like in,
Middle school,
we were playing in like the lot next door, like riding our bike and climbing trees, and
rollerblading maybe.
rollerblading, doing cool things,
Yeah.
wearing
Tumbling.
cargo shorts. Not what they're doing now when you're in middle school.
Right.
But it was next door. It was like the lot
Next
next door.
door.
Your parents could basically see you out the window.
And my parents, like if I was somewhere else, my dad would whistle, and we would know to come home
Love that.
because
Love
we didn't
a
have
good whistle.
phones back then. We never.
Oh,
had.
you didn't even have a phone then?
I did not have a phone then.
Yeah, when did you get a phone? What age?
I think I was in 7th grade,
Okay.
and my phone had to be downstairs at like 9:00,
Yeah.
and it did not have a touch screen or anything like that.
Like, was it flip phone?
It wasn't a flip phone. It was like a slide. I had like a chocolate. I think it was a chocolate.
I remember those. And you got social media then at what age?
I think I got a Facebook. I never did MySpace. I got a Facebook, I think, in like 7th grade.
Really?
I think I had Facebook.
And did you have any bullying or mean stuff?
Or were you the bully?
Or you were firing
was
out some
not the
mean
bully.
texts at people?
I was not the bully. I tried not.
Nothing? Wasn't bad? Were there people that you knew were just getting it bad on Facebook?
Not yet. I really don't. It's like
Really?
a new thing. Maybe
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't know about it.
Yeah. It came out in what, 2004?
Bullying. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No,
Or Facebook.
Facebook, yeah. Because, yeah, I don't think bullying online happened till later in the Facebook world. Probably like 2008. Give it 4 years. to
Well, and
settle
now
in.
if you say anything, you're going to get banned on Facebook.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they put away with that.
But it's DM stuff. Like I don't know. I don't have Facebook. I'm way out of that world. But
But he's an
feeling-
influencer.
Yeah, but I
He
need
just
to have
has
an
one
opinion on
platform,
things, even though I know nothing about it. But it seems like if you're anonymous, you can say anything you want to a person online, right?
That's why Reddit is scary.
It's terrifying.
It's scary on Reddit.
But even Snapchat or any of those ones that kind of disappear, I feel like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, they don't really understand the impact that they might be having when they're sending mean messages to somebody else who's 12 or 13.
My sister is a junior in college, and the way that her friends act just blows my mind. But it's a completely different generation than I feel like my friends that were acting.
What do you like? How they
Talk to each other, just like they are mean.
Yeah.
They are mean.
Yeah. What are any real estate secrets? Anything that we need to know or people need to know about real estate in the Midlands? Anything hot, upcoming, keep an eye on?
I think a lot of people are saying they're going to wait to buy until like the interest rates come down, but the
Price
prices
goes
are
up.
the prices are never going down because now the Midlands know like what we can actually get for
Right.
our houses here.
Right.
So people are like, "Oh, I'm just going to wait. Don't wait. Just start buying now."
What are I feel like every realtor says that though. So how do we trust you guys?
I mean, if you want to wait until prices come down, good luck.
Yeah, because I think when interest rates come down, prices are going to go. You're going to pay it somewhere is what's going to happen.
I remember when the interest rates were, I think they were like in the fours. On average, people were paying $20,000, $800 over every
Yes.
single time.
Yes.
Like that was just like the average across the Midlands.
Right.
So if you want to buy a $300,000 house, it's $320.
Right. You either pay it up front or you get the 8% loan now and pay it over a longer period of time. Yeah. Are there any key areas though that you're seeing like a lot of growth? Maybe like younger families moving to, or like what are the traditional spots?
I think you kind of have to look at where they're putting a new school. So if they're putting a new school there, obviously growth is going to happen over a couple years. I know Gilbert's about to get a Target. So it's big time out in Gilbert. And then with the Scout plant coming to Blythewood, there's going to be a lot of growth over here. I just think we're Columbia, that we have so much room to grow that we're going to be golden in a couple years. I also feel like for Columbia, the downtown area for investors, like the price point is a really good price to get in and invest right now.
Like on Main Street, I saw something on Main Street for $500,000, which sounded like crazy to me, like low.
Like, was it like a townhouse or something?
No,
probably?
it was a commercial building that was up for sale. And I mean, imagine there's all kinds of weird stuff in there because of the see, I don't know enough about historic things and how much things cost to, because 500,000 on Main Street, it's only going up over the next every year. I almost just like thought, why don't I just buy this and try to figure out what the hell to do with it? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what's happening if you look like on the Bull Street area.
Yeah.
Like there's so much growth happening over there. And I think with Columbia, they're really trying to put more things to make people want to stay in Columbia, because I think they're like missed out on, you graduate, you go to like Charleston or you go to Greenville or you go to Charlotte. There was nothing really like bringing people here and making them stay. But now I think they're adding a lot of stuff for the 20-year-olds to make Columbia cool again.
Yeah. Yep.
What about the realtor level? So I'm curious your perspective on like the 20-year-old realtors coming in versus like the 45-year-olds versus the 70-year-olds. Are they just using different techniques, or do they do different things, or what's the word? What's the feeling that the different generations of realtors have towards each other?
It's very interesting. Like when I first started, I was the youngest person in my office.
Yes.
And everyone I think gets in real estate after they've already had like 3 or 4 careers, and they're now a soccer mom that wants like a pastime, or they want to hang out and have their own schedule. They're like, oh, I'll get a real estate license. I don't think really anyone knows like how time consuming real estate is if you're really in it. And I'm like really in real estate. Like I'm in it every single day, which I think some agents like are not, and they only do it on the side, basically. Like they're part-time agents. Mm-hmm. But if you are, I'll say the agents that are, they're either going to adapt to what's happening to real estate, and it's turning to social media and marketing and video, DocuSign, which a lot of like older agents, like they still want to sign paper contracts, and like properties just move way too fast to do that now.
Right.
But there's like a lot of agents that's been doing it for 30, 40 years, and eventually I think they're just going to get passed out.
I feel that's coming too, because the DocuSign stuff will come at 9 o'clock at night all the time. I sign stuff all the time that you would traditionally have to go to the place, sign it at 9 a.m. on Monday, then everybody does their stuff. Now it's like, boom, DocuSign in your email, boom, 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 5 people sign it.
Done.
All right, next thing's coming, boom, 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 done.
And a lot of agents I don't think even, like they don't even do professional video or professional photos. And I'd take professional photos for any house, regardless of price point.
Right.
Just because it shows up better.
You take them yourself? Or you
I do not. I hire someone.
Who do you use? Or do you want to share?
Look to Homes. They take all the photos. They just do real estate photos.
I should get in the photography game. What does that run? Like if I was a photographer to just go in and shoot like a house.
It's $145 a
Total?
house.
A house.
And then if you add like drone or
Oh yeah. Video.
videos are $450, $500 a house. So video's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can do something unique too, I feel like it sells the house fast.
Like throw a blonde joke in there. Something.
That's good. That's a good idea.
In all my videos, it starts with a blonde joke. Have you noticed any changes? Like since they changed the commission rules, has there been any things that realtors have felt in this, or anything you guys are changing to get around it?
We're really lucky here because I have to be kind of careful what I talk about, like with commission, but my fee is always 3%, whether you're buying a house or you're selling a house. And we're really fortunate in the Midlands where sellers are still offering buyers agent commission. And it's
Yeah.
pretty normally it's 2.5 or 3%. Like we're still getting the full percent from the seller side. When some markets, like in California, where they're not paying agents
Right.
at all really anymore. But we're
Right.
very fortunate here. So not a lot has changed.
Do you watch a lot of those shows on TV
I do watch them.
about real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's where it seemed like there was like what was it, a millionaire tax or some sort of tax in California where if it was over a certain price point, and I was like, man, this is just going to dramatically change how these guys are selling the luxury real estate world.
I think we're very protected. Like we're in a bubble in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving here. Everyone's paying.
Yeah.
What's your favorite show?
Like not real estate related.
Anything.
I am not a big reality TV fan, but I did really like the Mormon Wives show.
Oh, I didn't
Secret
watch
Lives
that
of Mormon Wives. That was really good. That was like my only reality show. That and Love is Blind. Those are my two.
Okay.
But I watch so much TV. That is like if you go on a movie and TV, I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I've seen every single thriller on Netflix probably.
Have you seen Suits?
I have seen Suits.
Really?
It was good.
Would you ever go on Love is Blind? Like, I've thought about that. Have you, if they came to you and were like, hey, Hannah, would you come on the show?
I know someone that was on the show.
Oh,
and
really?
They actually found someone after for a little bit.
Like,
I think
from the show they found him?
They
Or
did, but then they dated it and it never worked.
Really? Did they make it to those final 5 that go on vacation?
They
that
didn't.
They
That's okay. This is gonna make me sound like a brat. I would love the show to do it. Maybe meet someone. I want to have the wedding how I want to have it. Like I don't want it to
Right.
be like this is where you have to have your wedding and you can only invite 30 people.
Are you you want to do the big wedding, the whole 9?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Weddings are so expensive now.
that's what I'm getting. Yeah. I think, what if you just threw a big banger?
So I'll
Get married, however. I've officiated a couple weddings.
have you.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking, let's get through this part of the officiating. Who cares? I guess some people do. Some people do want that to be good, but I'm like, let's get through this 15, 20 minutes, get to the party.
To spend, I think an average wedding these days, like a normal wedding, I think you're 75 to 100 grand.
It's nuts.
That's crazy.
It is. It doesn't make any sense.
I will tell you my one wedding thing, and this is my personal opinion. I think bachelorette parties are kind of overrated.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And for me, this is my thing. I would rather go on my honeymoon for a couple days. I'm talking 4 or 5 days. And then I want all my friends to come in
Yes.
and have a giant party and skip the bachelorette, skip the bachelor party.
Yes.
And let's just all hang out after.
I think there's been too much pressure put on bachelorette parties and bachelor parties that it's kind of gone away. There's and part of it I think is because there's too much there's too many cameras, and only bad things happen on these bachelorette and bachelor parties that I think they've kind of lessened. Does that make sense?
And it's honestly, unless you really know the people you're going with,
Yeah, and then
besides the bride, it's is it worth it to
What am
spend
I doing?
$2,500 with girls I don't even know?
And then they want you to wear 4 different dresses to match these. Yeah, it's.
And I'm extra. I'm an extra person.
Yeah.
My friends know I'm extra.
Yeah.
So I'm let's just go to Mexico or somewhere crazy after my wedding.
I agree.
After
think it's a
honeymoon
great.
for a couple days, enjoy the time with my husband.
That's
But
what
then
weddings.
let's party.
Yes, weddings should turn into that quick wedding, get it done. Maybe a couple people there that you want to have there. No offense to anybody else. It's we're just doing. My wife and I did just family, and then I love the idea of let's go on honeymoon, and then everybody shows up. Would be incredible. And we've done like, because it's just forcing a group friend vacation. Like, you know what I mean?
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's funny because some people that are getting married for like their second or third time, they're starting like, hey, everybody come to my wedding. And people are like, nah, I don't think so. And like, I knew somebody who was getting married for his third time. And he was like, we're going to go elope. We're going to do this, or not elope, but we're going to have this thing in Mexico. And everybody was like, yeah, we're just not coming. And he's like, what do you mean you're not coming to my marriage? They're like, listen, we showed up your first time. We showed up the second time. We're not coming the third time. Because you don't even know her. You've been dating for like 2 months. So I think there's this new thing too, where like these massive weddings, just why are you doing that? Why are you spending $50,000 and going massively in debt?
$50,000 is like a cheap wedding these days.
It is?
Yeah.
Weddings are like
What?
crazy. It's wild.
75 plus.
75 plus is the number?
That's your baseline. And like, that's probably like 100 people, maybe.
Do you know how much mine was?
How much?
How much do you think?
Oh God, I know what it is. And it's
know.
hilarious.
It was like $3,300.
That includes the dress.
That includes the dress, that includes the church, that includes the venue,
Everything.
and the food, and the booze, and the DJ.
Where did you get married?
It was
I need to know the venue.
that was the secret. It was in a little place called Newberry, Indiana, and then like there's another town called Linton, small town, Indiana. But they just knew, like her parents just knew. Her mom had like keys to the church, so she was like, yeah, of course you can just use the church. And her sister's like friend was a DJ. He's like, yeah, I'll just DJ for you guys. That'd be fine. And then her mom's like, yeah, we have to. We were like, we're not doing food. Mom's like, you got to do food. I'll do it all. So her mom did all the food.
Wow.
And then my uncle bartended.
That's impressive. That is impressive.
It was just like a big family party,
was
sort
wild.
of. There was probably 120, 130 people there.
We surprised him.
Yeah, Tom drove all the way, surprised me. Didn't even know he was going to be there until you were sitting
Well, and that
there.
was the weird part. It was like, hey, we were gonna surprise him, but like, you know how normally like you don't just show up to weddings because they need to like count. And in his case, that's when I was like, no, like anybody can come.
No big deal.
It's not by per plate.
So that was the first time that most of my family met Tom, and most of my wife's family met Tom. And there was a point when the DJ DJ just gave him the microphone, and he was up there like what
I was
song
trying
was
to
it?
rap. It was
Yeah,
like
he's
a
trying
Chris
to-
Brown.
Yeah,
Like I had no
getting
business.
everybody hype, like hands in the air. Everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" Never met him.
No
before.
business being up there. Now wait, did you say you would go on Love Is Blind or wouldn't?
I would go.
You would go.
I
That
would
would be
go.
great. What about the
Okay.
Bachelorette or the
I
Bachelor?
would do that
You would
too.
do that? Should we? Are you submitting stuff pretty
Should
regularly?
I?
Yeah,
Should I?
100%.
Let's get you on there.
I think you'd be great at that.
I would be so stressed out about the initial, like, what do you say when you get out of the car?
That's my
Oh,
favorite
we'll
part.
work- yeah, we could
Oh,
work
I
with
love
that
that.
on
We could.
Like, I'm not wearing a costume.
You're
No,
not.
no.
Are you? What
Don't go
would you do?
costume.
You show up in like on a horse or something?
No.
On
No,
like an
we'll come up
oxen?
with something.
Yeah, you had to
We
do
got
something
classy.
something classy.
What you got to do is you got to watch years. You got to do your research. We watch years past. We find out what's cringy, what kind of worked, and we go off of that.
I feel like
Research,
here-
R&D.
Here's what I feel like though. You want to be cringy and memorable enough that the producers want you to go,
The distance.
yeah, or at least like a few weeks. You get past that
You
initial.
do
part.
want to be shown because some of them they don't show because they're
That
just
is true.
yeah,
But I can't be like the bitchy one. Like, I have to be
No.
like the one everyone likes, the cool one.
yeah. Get
See, I
hammered.
feel
Get
like-
hammered night.
Oh,
one.
that would be good. The crying one.
No, not that.
Not the crying one.
No.
Okay, so the fact that you would go on Love Is Blind, you don't care about looks. If there's a connection,
I think
'Cause
it'd be a
that's
very
what-
cool experience.
yeah, that's what made me think about it. I was like, man, I think it'd be tough.
I definitely have a type. Like, I have a
Yeah,
type.
muscular tattoos,
Big neck,
thick neck,
thick neck,
good quads.
Likes to work
good
out.
smile,
Yeah, good quads.
funny.
Anyone in the Columbia
Smart.
area. 803-261-7832.
Okay. Now, what do days off look like for you, or do you have any? Do you plan them? What's
I don't take a day off.
right?
I always am
Int-
working.
Like nothing intentional.
Nothing intentional. But I
Okay.
do like to, like on the weekends, obviously, I'm at Williams-Brice.
Football.
And we're going to the Natty this year. I'm convinced.
Think so?
I think so.
Be great.
if you believe.
Now, when you stormed the field, did you fall in a bush? Was that you that I saw?
That was me. Okay. I had so much anxiety about storming the field.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with my friend and I'm like, I don't think I want to do it. And she goes, you have to storm the field. And she goes, look, we're going to get trampled because look at everyone coming out behind us. Like where we were, like if we didn't not go, like we would have got trampled. And I'm like, I have so much anxiety. Like, I don't think I can do it. And of course I'm wearing like giant heeled boots.
Yeah.
And I watched this like 7-year-old woman climb over the bush thing right before me. And she did great. And I was like, oh, I got this. And my friend was videoing it just like to video us storming in the field. And I don't know why I thought if I barely stood on the branch, like it would just hold my weight. Like I went straight through the bush and like rolled out into the end zone. Yeah. And I was just laying there. And I was like, what am I doing? But it was fun. It was fun.
No injuries though, right?
No injuries.
Got up, recovered.
It definitely
well.
wasn't graceful.
No,
but
it's a good memory.
Good memory for sure. The security guard was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I just want to like."
Just gotta keep going.
I kept
Nobody
looking
saw
like
it.
in the pictures after the game. I'm like, "Please, I hope I am not like on
right
SEC Network like this blonde dummy. Like look at her falling. Yes.
And so people probably don't know, or some people don't know this. After the Gamecocks win, you can just run out on the field if you're in a certain section, right? Is that how it works?
Oh no,
He's from Canada.
I don't know how that works.
So
you can't storm the ice in hockey.
you cannot.
You're never allowed on. Yeah, you're
in
never
the
allowed
SEC,
on the
you
ice.
cannot touch the field. You can't touch the court at all. At all. ACC,
Ever.
if before they made the new rules, like in the ACC, if you already were doing it, you're allowed. Like Clemson can do it because they were grandfathered in.
Okay.
But the University of South Carolina for the Texas A&M paid like $250,000 to
fined.
Texas A&M for us doing that.
Yeah, you get.
Oh, you
fined.
got fined $250,000.
The university.
Mm-hmm.
So who was the person that decided, like, all right, we're doing this?
Yeah, you don't get it. You don't get to decide. The student
Who's
section.
doing it?
The student section.
The
yeah.
students decided we're going to pay $250,000.
Well, they don't pay. They don't give a shit. That's the thing.
Well, then
They
why
just-
wouldn't they do it every time?
If it's a massive game, it's just going to happen, and they're going to have to pay the fine. That's how it is still to this day. Even with like, they were trying to protect players because, like, say you're the opposing team, and there's 1,000 students screaming at you. There were people getting knocked out, injured, like.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anxiety.
You're
Anxiety.
talking massive dudes and you're yelling like, you're a piece of shit. You suck. And like one little banger with an elbow. I mean, people were getting hurt.
All this time I thought it was organized where they would just say, like, okay, this section,
No.
go. And it
They
was
sent
like,
out a tweet like, we're
No.
going to go.
No. They had like a ribbon where they would cut the ribbon
No.
and then everybody can storm the field.
Not at all.
Wow.
It is. And they ripped down the goalposts. Like they had to start making goalposts that are now retractable so that like if it's a big game and we win, they have like a team of people come and take the goalposts and put them down. Some schools don't have it and their goalposts get ripped off. Just happened in Tennessee and
With
Vanderbilt.
Vandy.
They were walking down the street with
Yeah,
it. I
threw it in
did
the
see
river.
that.
Like that is not okay, but it's great. Like anytime there's a massive win.
So how did you end up being able to run onto the field? You were just close enough that you decided we're going?
Well, I turned around and everyone behind me was
It's a
coming.
sea.
So I was like, I have to go.
You're like, I got to
have
figure this
go.
bush out
I was
and
like,
then
I'm
get
so
out there.
scared.
Did you touch anybody? Like, did you go up to any players and just kind of like,
Have you ever stood next to someone that plays football? They
Yes.
smell so bad. I was like, please.
You wanna get away-
get
yeah.
away from me.
yeah.
I did see them though.
Now, are you into football players? Like, would that be your thing? Say a 21-year-old. They're listening. We got a big following in the 21-year-old crowd.
This weekend, I picked up a 21-year-old and I was really excited. I was like
Like at the bar?
at the bar
Oh, nice.
by accident.
Well, let's walk us through this. This is
Okay.
great. This is good.
So, like I said, like no one's going to come knock on my door to find me. I have to put myself
You're
out
hunting.
there.
Yep, you're
So
a cougar.
I'm at Tin Roof of all places. I'm like,
Great spot.
Yep.
like I'm gonna find someone here. So I'm like doing a pan, searching the whole room, and I'm like, that's what I do. I sit in not in a corner. I'm at the bar, but I'm like searching,
Getting the
surveillance.
radar
I'm
out there.
seeing who's
Yeah.
out there.
Putting the sonar out.
And this one guy, like he kept getting in my way. And I turned around, he was like there again. And then he's like, why do you keep staring at me? I was like, oh no, you're clearly like you're in my way of me trying to pan the room.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you looking for? I was like, a man. I'm looking for a man. I was like, I'm about to do a lap, actually. Like, if you want to come with me. He's like, well, what are you looking for? I'm like, just literally a man.
A man.
Anyone. Someone.
Nice, yeah, kind.
And he was like, "Oh, what year are you?" I already graduated. He was like, I was like, "What about you?" He's like, "I'm a super senior." I was like,
Okay.
and I was like, "Okay, you're hurting my chances. I need you to walk away." I was like, "I can't let people think that I have like you're my boyfriend. Walk away."
That's
The
great.
dating life here is just not good.
Yeah, because it's like, where do you go? Like that age bracket, that's what we're
It's
trying to
hard.
figure out. You have to have you're going to have to, God, I hate to say, you're going to have to find somebody who like just got their heart broken, long-term relationship, heartbreak, 27 to 30 years old. Somebody who maybe got married too young, their wife cheated on them, now single, divorced. And the only other option is a widow. I can't think of. There's no other. Those are the three.
Well, no, I don't. I think you're doing it right, where you're just open about it and looking for it. And,
Numbers game.
and yeah, just a
At the
numbers
grocery
game.
store, I used to wear sweatpants. I'm like, I'm gonna put an outfit on to go to
Yes.
the grocery store. You never
Yes.
know.
Don't be afraid to approach dudes. I think some dudes are a little intimidated. So be in the grocery store, run into somebody maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I heard that if you're a single girl, you need to follow all the barbershops in your area
Love that.
because they post a photo and tag the guy typically.
Circa, yeah.
And I'm like, no one looks better than they do after they just got a
Fresh
haircut.
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
good point.
That's a great idea.
I love golf courses. I love barbershops. I'm trying to think where else.
Church.
Church is good. Yep, church.
I just saw on Instagram a guy did a pickup line on someone. And he goes, "Hey, do you want to see what my type is?" Or, "Hey, are you curious what my type is?" And the girl's always like, "Okay." And then he like leans over as if he's going to show them on his phone, but then he takes a photo of them and then he shows the photo back. I feel like there's so many good pickup lines these days
Yeah.
too.
Maybe I
Just
should
gotta
try
break
that.
the ice.
Maybe that would be a good
Just
one.
gotta
Like,
break
hey, do you
the
know what
ice.
kind of guys I'm into? Taking a photo.
Yep.
And you like Kip Moore too. I want to talk about that.
Do
Okay.
you?
You like or you love
Here
him?
we go.
Okay, I gotta tell you something, and I
gonna
don't want to
break
hurt
your
your.
heart.
Oh, all right. You know what? Don't even
Yep.
tell me.
I don't
want to
know.
know. I don't want to know.
I felt like we bonded over the fact that I
No.
was at the concert, and I don't.
It was so Kip Moore is so good. No one realizes how good he is.
I'm concerned for him actually.
Why? What do you mean?
I mean,
Because he was wearing a tank top and tucked into his jeans.
and drinking bourbon out of the the bottle.
Yeah.
And I also was confused. Okay, I got those tickets for free. I'm gonna be fully transparent.
Okay. They
I got
paid
the-
her to go. Yep.
I got the tickets.
I
for
also
free.
had an extra ticket that I couldn't even give away.
So I was like, let's just go. I know like the two songs that he sings.
Yep. Probably Dirt Road and
The
Hey
something
Pretty Girl,
about a
maybe.
truck. Is that him?
Oh yeah, something about a truck is him too. Yep. He's just
I'm
got so
confused
many.
what genre of music he is.
Really?
Like, it's kind of country,
Yeah.
kind of rock.
Yeah. That's where my sweet spot is. I like country with rock or country with rap.
Like Hardy.
Oh,
I don't know who Hardy is.
wow. That's right. And he wears the thick glasses, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You should listen to him.
I need to listen to that.
Hardy
Yeah.
is like country rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you think that drinking bourbon straight out of the glass shouldn't
In
be doing
a
that?
wife beater, I think is where my line is.
Your line?
I think I'm drawing it right there.
Off
I
the
also was
list.
so confused. I'm like, if I was famous enough to have like big songs and I'm 45, 50
Yep.
and I'm playing at the Senate on a Thursday.
It is crazy. All right. So in fairness, my whole family,
Great concert.
who's from they're all from Canada. And he sells out massive shows. Like in Alberta, Canada, he's selling tons. He was just in South Africa
He said that.
filling up stadiums. And then he comes to Columbia, South Carolina, and it's like, on my 2 tickets I couldn't give away, and you got your free tickets and
That's
didn't even like
wild.
it.
I know I didn't not like it.
Or yeah, you just didn't.
I was just very confused.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm not when I look. When I looked at his outfit and what he was doing, I was like, yeah, that seems like
good.
the right thing to do. Everything seems appropriate. Even his tank top, I was like, I would love to wear a tank top like that, but it doesn't look.
You can't.
I know. That's the problem. Sometimes I do, but I shouldn't.
Those are undershirts.
Now, do you ever rewear any outfits? Like say to USC or on a realtor video.
Oh yeah, you don't want same outfit to Instagram post.
I really try not to rewear
You
an
mix
outfit.
it up. Yeah.
I have, but it must be like a really good outfit, and I didn't get a photo in it.
Yeah. Okay.
But my mom owns a store, so I get everything at wholesale.
Cost. Yeah.
So that makes it easy.
That is nice.
So what happened? So you're dressed today, which is great, fancy. What are you going to do with it after you've been on Columbia's Hottest Podcast? You basically
you're
just
gonna
have
have to throw that out.
donate
I
it to someone.
I'll wear it again, but not be on camera.
Oh.
So the one post I'm gonna have in this dress is gonna be here.
Yeah. Perfect. Nice. If you want us to like put it in a frame and we could put it up.
Oh,
on
that's a
share
good
the
idea.
wall.
I'll sign it.
Yeah, you sign it. Where else? Oh, let's talk about your link tree on Instagram. You got some good stuff in there. I was creeping.
Thank you.
You got a cola guide. When did you make that? And what was the inspiration?
So I always feel like how do you know if you're visiting a place where to go?
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna make this guide and I'm gonna lead capture everyone's emails. So if you fill it out and get the guide, I'm gonna send you my newsletter.
Yes.
But I spent hours creating that guide to Columbia, and it has all of my favorite restaurants and bars and places to eat, places to shop. Hotel Trundle, like if you're staying in Columbia, stay at Hotel Trundle.
Right.
And then, I just give it away to my clients, but I put it on there for people visiting the area.
And you chose all those personally, right? You weren't persuaded by any of the restaurants or Hotel Trundle
No, so those are all like where I
you would.
eat.
Yeah.
And I'm vegetarian, so a lot of my choices are like not
What?
like someone today visiting was like, where should I go for barbecue? And I was like, I think people like home team. I was like, I don't really know.
Let's get into veg. Well, let me finish the link tree here. So the newsletter. So now you got their email. What's in the newsletter? What are you sending them?
So once a month I send, and I feel like newsletters are one of those things like you don't want to be annoying.
Right.
So it's once a month you get a newsletter from me, and it's typically like a joke, not a blonde joke, but a joke at
but
the top.
it might be now. Okay.
Might be.
Go ahead.
You might have a blonde joke for December. And then it has things happening around Columbia, new places to try, typically like a small business highlight, and then there's real estate at the bottom.
Nice.
So more so just
Simple.
like area
Yeah.
things, restaurants to try.
Okay.
How do you get highlighted? You just choose something randomly,
Yeah, I just pick one.
whatever feels good.
You want me to highlight y'all?
I kind of
sounds
do.
like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
I
great.
could. Yeah,
That'd be
y'all
nice.
be December. Close out the year.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'd love
nice.
to be in December.
You want any photos of us for that?
Sure.
Okay. Part of our calendar.
Your link tree. We have talked about your link tree many times
You got a
because it's just nice.
you got a date guide in there too.
I
Or
do
a date
have
night guide.
I do have a date night in there.
Yeah. Which is big because when people are getting in the game, they got to know where to go. Where would be your ideal first date? For the 21-year-olds out there.
Nothing like too fancy.
Like, do you like drinks or do you want to go straight dinner? Or
Do I know this person, or is this like brand new?
brand new? This is date one.
Coffee or drinks, I think, is like the safe
starter.
bet, because if you can close and you can get out of there.
Yeah.
Like dinner, you're in there for like 2 hours.
And it could suck in 10 minutes. Because you know. Let's say drinks. What's your go-to drink spot?
I love a margarita, so Koa is probably where I'm going.
That's where I took
But
my.
no 21-year-old
good
is. We're not going to Koa.
You're not going to Koa.
No,
Where are 21s taking them?
I don't know.
I don't.
Tin Roof, probably.
Tin Roof is fine. I feel like Tin Roof's older than 21, but maybe
It's gotten older, yeah.
yeah.
No, I love Koa. Hendrix is good, and Lula Drake. I just went there for the first time.
It's nice. You like into wine?
I do like wine.
Yeah,
I like wine and tequila and water. That's all I drink.
that's it.
And espresso martinis.
Soda water?
I do drink soda water occasionally, but just tap water is fine. Tap water works for me.
Tap water. Filtered.
It's so funny because the first date things. Have you heard Tom talk about his first date with his wife? Because he went.
Do you know my whole deal or story or no?
I do not.
Okay. So my first wife passed away, and then I spent time to kind of get back into the game. Randy tells me I need to go on 50 dates with different women So
That's what that. So that was my advice. I told him you're terrible at dating and you don't know what.
because I never been
You
on a
don't-
date.
Yes, I was like, you could even if you love the first one, you should still just like go out enough and then decide like, yeah, she was great.
Yeah, and so I was
That was
nervous.
my thought.
Because I didn't date. I met my first wife in college. Like we didn't go on dates. We were in college and then married her and the whole nine. So now I go on my first date and I'm freaking out. Like I asked so many people. I'm like, hey, do I hug her? Do I handshake? Do I get there early? Do I order 2 drinks? What drinks am I ordering? What's like everything. So my first date was Koa drinks. And then I show up. I'm late now. I plan to be there early and I think order 2 drinks. She's there sitting and I'm walking in like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So I did the like half hug, sit down, worked out fine. Was coached to only have like 1 to 2 drinks and like kind of get out of there, like play it safe. I go 8 to 9 drinks. I'm videotaping during the date. I'm sending these guys videos. I'm in the bathroom like, I'm crushing this. I end up marrying her though. So long story short, I go on 1 date ever in my life, meet Megan, and
That's
then it
so
was just,
cute.
yeah. But like what was helpful is I think years of experience, and then I made a list. Like
And the tequila.
And a lot of tequila. I made a list of very specifically like, here's what I'm looking for. And then it was like, she checked all the boxes. So I was like, do I need to go on a second? Like, do I try somebody else out because I have this? So I never did.
Yeah,
And here we
His
are.
although in fairness, your marketing was
marketing
great.
stuff.
Like
That's what
his thing was, I'm going to make sure that every single female in Columbia knows that I'm single right now.
Yeah.
And
Once I was
then
let
I'm gonna
loose, I basically let him know, like, listen, you got a small window because I'm going to go quickly. That was my strategy.
We'd be at a part. Like if
Follow
if,
me on Instagram.
If right now this was part of the window, he would say to you, he'd be like, "Hey, can you just like fire a photo of me and put it on your Instagram and just say this
Yeah,
guy's single
tag
and
me.
looking,
Yeah,
fire me?" And then he'll say like, "Hey, can you just fire a photo of me to every single friend that you've ever met?"
Here's my
And
here's
here
my
you go.
stats. Here's my background.
Yeah. So he just like wasn't afraid to
You
make
gotta
sure
get your resume
everybody
out there.
got every
You should do
photo.
that.
You got to get your
It
resume.
was
out
it was aggressive. It was just for a short window though. Like you can't do that for
Yeah, because
years.
I was about to do the like Tinder bump. I never did any of that stuff. Yeah. So, and it came the person who, so we were set up by like the most unlikely 2 people. My 50-year-old friend and his wife, and then Megan's financial advisor knew each other. And so Megan's was 31. I was 37, 36, somewhere there. And my 50-year-old friend, he's like, hey, send me a couple photos of you and I might have somebody. I'm like, dude, if I don't, your Rolodex of women is not who I'm looking for, I don't think. But like, and I didn't send him. My other friend ended up sending him, and then like 24 hours later, he sends me a picture of Megan, like her whole thing. And I'm like, wow, I could go on a date with her. And so that's how it worked.
Yeah. Then once we did a little deep dive, figured out her credit score.
Yeah. Then we went through all
We
the
talked
other
to our
metrics.
financial advisor, figured out how that looked.
All the good stuff. All right, last things. Vegetarian. When did you make that decision? Tell us how that's going.
I'm a really cheap date.
Yep.
I can say that.
Feed you a couple
Love
carrots
that.
and celery.
Really cheap date.
Although margaritas aren't super cheap.
They're not at Koa. I was 7 years old. My favorite food was a Rush's cheeseburger. Like, I loved Rush's. And then one day I was like, I don't really like Rush's anymore. And then I stopped eating Chick-fil-A, and I just decided I didn't want meat anymore. It's like a texture thing.
Wow. By what age were you full vegetarian?
7.
Oh, 7.
It's like the
And
one thing
never-
in my life I've like done
Wow.
for 20 years.
Have you accidentally eaten meat at all?
A couple times.
What was it?
One time I was at Cookout, and their chicken at Cookouts in the quesadilla is so thin.
Never.
Like
been.
I took a bite out of it, and I started crying, and I was like, oh no, like first
You
time
thought it was like a cheese quesadilla.
I was like, first
or
time
something.
eating meat, and then I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, I just ate meat. What do I do? He's like, you're fine. You'll be
Yeah.
fine. Then I grew up, and then I was drunk, and I was eating mac and cheese that had ham in it, and I was like, I thought it was Gouda. I was like, it's so smoky, and my friend's like, there's ham all in this, and I was like,
Oh, ham is sketchy.
yeah. But that's it. That's the only time.
Okay. Did you have diarrhea or anything?
I did not. No diarrhea.
That's wild to be. I mean, at 7 to make a decision that you've stuck with.
For that long.
Yeah, you're coming up on
Almost 20 years, yeah.
2 decades.
It's a long time.
I kind of like that as a vegetarian story, though. Usually it's like, I
Animals
decided that
or-
I'm obsessed with animals and animals have feelings too, and you should never kill an animal.
I always
Yours
say
is just like, I didn't like the texture of meat, so I quit eating it.
I always say that no matter what people order, I always enjoy my food way more than what they get.
Yeah.
Really?
So I say I'm a carbitarian because all I eat is carbs, like mac
pizza,
and cheese
yeah.
and pizza and
Fries.
grilled cheese and fry. Like, I don't know how I'm not 500 pounds.
Right.
Like, I think it's because I've been doing it for so long. My body just knows that I'm going to feed it carbs.
Yeah. You run off of it. It's great.
But yeah.
All right.
That's it. Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much for being on here. Yeah,
How do people find you?
Yep. What do you want
You
people
want
to
them
say?
slide in your DMs?
Yeah, slide in my DMs.
Okay.
If you're single out there in
Single,
Columbia, or
looking
you want
for
to buy a
real estate.
house, or you're a restaurant and you want me to feature you.
Yes. Okay.
Great.
What, you're at Hannah Norman.
2 N's on the end. Yes, at Hannah Norman, 2 N's.
2 N's. Any website? You have a website?
I do. Well, it's under construction, but it will be in like a week or so. HannahNormanRealtor.com.
Nice.
And if you own a business and you have a link tree, go check out our link tree because it is top notch.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for being on the show.
Ouch.
Here
We're here for the health of it.
for the health of it.